And we're live. How y'all doing? Today's show, if I look a little bleary-eyed, it's because today's show I am broadcasting live from the hotel floor, the hotel room floor after the 600th song after party, as requested by Sniper Bob. And if you guys are wondering why ToBeOrNotToBot was talking trash about Percy's RNG, it is because the venue vote was a tie, and Percy's cast the tie-breaking vote to send me down to the floor of the hotel room where we had our after party after yesterday's 600th song. Crazy. 600 songs. Okay, this is your first time watching the show. It is all about improvisation. Everything you see me do is improvised, but you guys in chat have a ton of impact on what I end up doing because you guys choose the sounds, you guys choose the speed of this track, you choose the starting key or chord depending on my mood. You guys, I take your usernames, turn you into drum loops and drum fills, then you guys come up with titles and venues and tour names, and you help grow, expand the mind of our channel's bot, ToBeOrNotToBot. So what we do here is very collaborative. And let's see, it looks like we already have a whole crew of collaborators here. I see Fafel is here, Eldest Panda, Lost Elf, hey Lost Elf, N3. Let's see, BioCrypty, Word Salad, Dom. And I believe earlier I saw that Cool Blue Reason is here. I'm not sure if it just stepped in for a moment, but let's all welcome Cool Blue Reason, our newest mod. Thank you, Cool Blue Reason, for joining the team. Excited to have you. Thank you. So let's see. Where are we at? Let's start bringing in these requests. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm feeling the effects of that floor. Let's see. Well, Cool Blue Reason is present, which means I'm gonna thank you again, Cool Blue Reason. Thank you. Let's see. Okay, let's start off the show. That's weird. I have this strange soreness in my arm. Huh. You know, it feels like, you know, when you get a shot, you have like this soreness after for a while, but I haven't gotten any shots. Man, what was I doing at the after party? Okay, let's see. We have... Okay, let's see. I'm just getting these requests in here. Okay, we have from Danjio, we have key of G flat from our new friend Mike AC 1290, 84 beats a minute. I believe this is your first request, Mike AC. Welcome to the show. We have drum loops from BioCrypty and Eldest Panda, and we have a full set of sounds, which we will, and drum fills. We will check out these sounds momentarily. Meanwhile, I'm going to get my mixing board back to 0. Let's see. Okay, there we go. And in theory, we should have the hip hop slide kit from Fafel. Yes, we do. Whoops. And yet I do not hear it. What could be happening? I've been having these weird bugs lately. This used to be almost flawless. Why is it doing that? It seems to be working now. Some rainy day, I'm going to get to the bottom of that issue. It is something to do with record locking. Record locking that didn't used to happen, so I don't know what I changed. Let's see. There it is, Hip Hop Slide Kit. Okay, nice. Okay, we have our kit. So now that we have our kit, we can initialize, import our track names, generate a bunch of drum fills, generate our drum loops, and I think for drum loops, I'm digging that woodblock sound. Let's include the possibility of that woodblock. Let's see, is that... Which one is that? That's C1, C2, so it's B2 is our woodblock. We'll give it a pretty high probability, 4. And our snare, our default snare is the clap sound. Do we want to keep that? Yeah, let's keep that. That's cool. Well, no, let's make the default the other snare. I think I did that right. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have BioCrypt's beat raw from the generator. Here's, let's check it out. Looks like we got one woodblock in there. Here it is. Okay, let's see. So we're going to make a few little adjustments. We're going to vary our hats a little bit. Now these snares here, we are going to drop a bunch, especially this one. We're going to add a kick here. This kick I want to drop just a little bit in volume. And do we want another? We're going to add a kick there. That'll be it. Okay, here it is. BioCrypt's beat. I absolutely love the kick drum on this beat. It's so massive. So massive. And that woodblock is on the 4th 16th note. That's a syncopated part of the beat. It's definitely unexpected there. Oh, thanks, Dom. Isn't it crazy that I could have done this from the very beginning, but I coded it with all these features that I just wasn't using. I just got into this rhythm, so to speak, of using it the same way over and over. Because it still generates, obviously, very different beats no matter what, but it is nice having some random sounds in there that we're not used to hearing. Okay, that's BioCrypt's beat. Let's check out Eldest Panda. Here it is raw from the generator. Eldest Panda did not get a woodblock. Okay, let's see. We are going to vary these hats a bit. Add a kick here. These snares are all very syncopated, so I think these ones I'm going to lower somewhat. These two kicks I'm going to lower somewhat. And I like that snare on the and of 4. I'm a big fan of snares on the and of 4 instead of right on 4. It's a cool feeling. Okay, here it is. Here's Eldest Panda's beat. And you know what? I want We have the clap sound on this kit. I want to use the clap sound right here. What I love about the clap is essentially what's happening is we have this this whole crew of people that showed up just for one beat every measure. They just show up, they just stand there, and then, you know. Oh man. I wondered, this is some music history I'd be really interested to know, is who first used claps in a track? What was the first recording? It's probably back in like the 1920s or something, but I would be really curious who first decided to use claps. I mean, it seems pretty intuitive because that's, you know, sort of a natural thing to do, but somebody was the first to come up with that idea to record a clap. Okay, let's check out these sounds. We have from a Mic AC 1290 voice bass. Nice. African wood from Word Salad. Lost Elf is here. Felt bells. Solo cello from Phoebus. Cello's pizzicato from Danjio. And then we have mixed choir from Fafel Maestro. Okay. So, let's see. Sun House. Yeah. That was quick work, Dom. Sun House. That's going pretty far back. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. So, we could start with one of the drum loops, or with voice bass, African wood, felt bells, solo cello, cello's pizzicato, or mixed choir. Let's see. Give you some time to vote. Hey, Word Salad. I've listened to R.L. Burnside. There's this period. When did that happen? It was like in the 90s. There was this a bunch of these old blues artists that no one knew about, or not enough people knew about. Suddenly, people started hearing them. I think it was some record label that was responsible for it in a way. But yeah, Burnside. Who else was there? Is like A.Z. Payton? Am I remembering the right? If I remember getting into that for a little while, listening to a bunch of those guys. Pretty sweet. Yeah, if you guys like really gritty, raw blues, um, yeah, I forget the name of the label, but R.L. Burnside is one of them. Unless I'm having a senior moment and confusing my artist, so I'm pretty sure he was part of that crew. Okay, any voting? What you guys chose? Cello's Pizzicato it is. Okay, so we're going to use everything, but we are going to start. Okay. Is camera 3's battery is running low? What are you guys talking about? Oh, ToBeOrNotToBot. You're messing with me, ToBeOrNotToBot. I just checked camera 3. It's still stuttering. I think this firmware update has messed everything up, but what? Camera 3, I'm standing still. Why are you moving? Why are you moving? This is not good. Anyway. Yeah, it seems something has happened to camera 3 over the last couple shows. And I blame it on a firmware update. Okay, here we go. First etceteration of the day. Yeah. A fun little improv. Start the show. Featuring drum loops from Biocrypty and Eldest Panda. We ended with that clavichord sound, African Wood, the word salad requested. I like that sound. It's intentionally, I think, the way it was designed. It's the notes aren't really pitched exactly. So there's this nice level of dissonance, but it's such a nice sound. I don't know. It's fun. Okay, did you guys come up with some titles? Looks like you did. Sweet. Oh, thanks everybody. Let's see. Hey, Northern Borealis here. Oh, I see Manofplate and Corbin are here. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see you guys give me for titles. We have, let's see. From George to Kay, we have Armadillo Crossing. From Biocrypty, we have Winter is Coming. From Dom, we have the Calping Choir. From Corbin, we have Celestial Stampede. And from Manofplate, we have Aquatic Beings. Okay, those are your options. Thanks, Corbin. Armadillo Crossing, Winter is Coming, the Calping Choir, Celestial Stampede, and Aquatic Beings. Oh, and actually, I wonder if can I... Something might flash on your screen for a second. Ignore it if it does. Oh, it didn't. Good. Sweet. Wait, will this flash on your screen? No. I'm going to see if while you guys are voting, I can fix something quick. Do I have time? I'm living dangerously. I'm trying to fix this code on the fly. Actually, I think I need more time to think about how to fix it. Apparently there's a little incompatibility with Better Twitch TV and how I do something. And I think I know how to fix it, but I should probably do it after the show. I don't think I have time. Okay. Okay, I'm ending voting. Let's see you guys chose. The Calping Choir from Dom. The Calping Choir. So that track will be forever remembered as the Calping Choir. That's another question I have. Is how did calping become a thing? Who was the first person to calp? Is calping a Twitch thing, or did calping exist before Twitch? Does anyone know? Oh, Dom adds yet another to his list. Okay, let's see. Oh, I should paste in. So, if you guys get bored while I'm playing, or if when I'm not when I'm playing, when I'm talking, hopefully you're not bored when I'm playing. Do I have the link? I'm pasting in a link. You can listen to the 6 Uncover finalists. This is for anyone who's here yesterday. You might already know about this, but so I'm going to be recording an Etcetera Kid version of a cover, although I like to call them uncovers. And we're voting. We're going to be doing a vote every day until Friday. Friday will be the last day of the vote. So you can vote every day if you want, but it's going to use whatever you vote last. But the reason I'm doing it over 4 days is so that as many people get a vote as possible. But you can listen to the 6 finalists so that when you vote, you make an informed decision. Or you could live dangerously and vote randomly. It's up to you. Or you could vote for the one you think has the best name, or whatever your reasons are valid. Okay, let's see. Let us start getting ready for our next improv of the day. Yeah, there were about 45 uncover suggestions, I think, for this first round. And in going through them, I tried to pick 6 that, well, I was going to only do 5, but I could not limit myself to 5. I did 6. I tried to get a variety of stuff represented in there. Okay, almost ready. Just waiting for our computers to do their thing. So I already know, because I know the votes for yesterday. So I know who's leading. Not going to tell you guys, though. I don't want to affect your voting process. Okay. Let's see. Let us speed things up a little bit. I think, let's see. Oh, nice. We have a first-time request from Blinkhorn, it looks like. It's requested a acid sawtooth. Nice. Okay, so we have Key of E from Northern Boreal, 98 beats a minute from George Takei. And we have Drum Loose from N343C and Rosen Nettle. And we got a full set of fills, a full set of sounds. We will check out those sounds momentarily while I reload them and I get my mixer back to 0. Yeah, welcome to the show, Blinkhorn. Okay, let's see. We should have the analog techno kit. There it is. That comes from Mike AC 1290. It's So now that we have our kit, let's initialize, import our track names, generate our drum fills, and let me do one thing here. Okay, and our drum loops, let's see, are there any funny sounds we want to use? Oh, I love that. Okay, oh, but that's already in there, actually. That could already be in it. We're going to include the possibility of that sound. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it's not yet in there. Okay. So, we're going to give it a very low probability. That is technically their crash symbol of this kit. We're going to give it a probability of 1. That is a very low probability. So it probably won't happen, but it might. Okay, let's generate these beats. N343CN's beat, here it is. Very simple because of the silence from the numbers. Let's see. So we're gonna drop these kicks in volume just a little bit. Let's add a hat there. We're gonna add. Let's add a snare there. We're gonna drop the volume of this snare a bit. I mean this hi-hat. And you know what we're gonna add? Take a little. Add some delay. Here it is. N343C's beat. We're going to keep it real spacious. Nice. Cool. And we have Rosinetto. Here it is, Rosinetto raw from the generator. Okay, let's see. Dropping these hats a bit. Oh yeah, Sniper Bob with the venue name for today's show. Okay, adding a kick here. Oh, and Sniper Bob, I wanted to thank you. I think one of your request, or you did a donation that happened off when I wasn't live. Or it came through, but thank you for that. Thank you so much. Okay, we're actually bringing this snare back. I didn't mean to lower that. Okay, here it is, Rosinetto's beat. Very cool. Nice. I like the contrast between those two beats. Nice. Okay, let's see. It's a Dark Blue Pony. Hi, Dark Blue Pony. We got Acid Sawtooth from Blinkhorn. Here it is. What is this sound? Oh, nice. Tango Accordion from Kid Charlemagne. There it is. Oh, it's different. Mixing it up, Dom. Dobro Slide. There it is. Tubular Bells from Cool Blue Reason. Somehow, ToBeOrNotToBot got a request in. I need to put a kibosh on this. Sad Dreams. ToBeOrNotToBot requested the sound Sad Dreams. What does that say about you, ToBeOrNotToBot? Sad Dreams? Let's see. Patron EK95 asks, is this some program I need to pay for? I'm not sure which aspect you're referring to. I am using programs that have to be purchased or acquired in some way, and then there's a lot of custom stuff that I've written. But this main thing you're looking at is Ableton Live. That's something that you could get, but the drum generator is something I wrote. Okay, and lastly we have Grainy Clouds from Hat Machine. King's Crusader, I keep forgetting to see what is wrong with ToBeOrNotToBot. Why it's screwing up your greeting. Sorry about that. I didn't look at these yesterday after the show. But yeah, if you add another one, that will definitely remind me, and I'll fix it. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, you guys choose which sound starts the improvisation. ToBeOrNotToBot. Oh man. ToBeOrNotToBot. Yeah, if this channel grows and grows someday, maybe we'll have the funds to give you your own body. Okay, so we could start with one of the drum loops, or Acid Sawtooth, Tango Accordion, our Dobro Slide, Tubular Bells, Totally Tubular Bells, Sad Dreams, Grainy Clouds. I got a question for you guys. Some of you in chat are older, some younger, but I think almost everyone in chat either has attended high school at some point in their life or are currently attending high school. When you were in high school, and that could be right now, what was the one word that people most used to describe something that was amazing, awesome, whatever? I think when I was in high school, radical was in favor. Radical. But I'm curious what other I'm curious if there's any new slang I should know about, so I can compliment someone's radical beat. Or nifty. Is nifty the hot word now? Probably not. Nifty. That would be, sick, cool, rad. That's sick. And Blinkhorn says, rad was not cool, but I used it. See, that's the thing, is rad used to be cool. All the, and then they get out of, no longer trendy. Gnarly, deadly, swag. Cool Reason says, I can't remember, it was so long ago. Sweet, smooky, that's right, smooky, groovy. Jameson, that's gonna be the new one, right? We're pushing Jameson. Dank. Dank. That's dank is what's new, right? Dank memes. Murdering people with my dank memes. Well, Phoebus, whatever your first language is, what was the word in your first language that you guys used in, I don't know, maybe it wasn't called high school, secondary school, whatever it was called. Okay, I'm ending voting. Let's see you guys chose. Sad dreams. You guys chose ToBeOrNotToBot's sound. How do you feel about that, ToBeOrNotToBot? ToBeOrNotToBot, taking jobs from humans. See, ToBeOrNotToBot, if we gave you a body as well, you are already taking people's request slots. If we gave you a body, I can only imagine. You'd take me out, you'd take over. Right? Who needs humans? Because you could multitask much better than I can multitask. Stellar. Yeah, I like stellar. Stellar is a good one. Lit. Right, lit. I feel like if I say lit, high school is really, well, in the U.S., high school I think is, yeah. Well, I think I started high school, how old was I? I was 14. I started a little younger, I think. I was 14. Okay, let's see. Sad dreams it is. Far out. That is far out. See, what got me thinking about this is when I Coolable Reasons, tubular bells, and I wasn't that like a surfer slang, totally tubular, or did I just invent that in my mind? I feel like that's something surfers would say. Dude, that wave was totally tubular. Is that, anyone heard that, or did I just randomly create reality in my mind? No, it wasn't that Northern Boreal. I think it was that I had a birthday that was just past the cutoff. It was like right around the cutoff, and I don't know. I was in a place where my parents were able to. I was in another country at the time, and maybe my parents just wanted to get me out of the house. So I think I was 4 when I started kindergarten. I think they just wanted some freedom from me. Okay, let's do it. Song number 2 of the day. Sad dreams. Insert your adjective of choice for what this might turn out to be. It could be totally tubular. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so tubular. So okay, good. So I didn't just come up with that. Someone else. Although it would have been cool if I just came up with it, but I did not. Totally tubular. Here we go. Song number 2. Wish me luck. Be thinking about titles, venues, tour names. Give some new bot talk. Here we go. Totally tubular. After all that talk of totally tubular, I had to end with the tubular bells from Cool Blue Reason. Thanks, guys. That was fun. How about that acid sawtooth bass is always fun to play around with. From Blinkhorn. I had the tango accordion and dobro slide. We're playing a duet. We started off with ToBeOrNotToBot's Sad Dreams. Accent or layered atop Hat Machine's Grainy Clouds. Okay, let's see. Let's name this baby. Oh, we got some titles. Nice. I'm not gonna use these particular ones, but I am laughing at several of Sniper Bob's, including "The kid is wicked sweet and his music is rad." "Do you even loop, bro?" And "The Lost Elf's new GPS." And "California Streamin'." Actually, that one. Well, I'm gonna bring that one over. "California Streamin'" from Sniper Bob. From Northern Boreal, Lone Elephant. From Manofplate, 8th day of the week. Oh, how I would love an 8th day of the week. Oh, man. Man, an 8th day of the week. That would be, would make me so happy. That would be my break day. I'd probably work all the day, but still, an 8th day to work? Sweet. Oh, man. From Lost Elf, Hedgehog in My Path. And from Danjio, Dank Litness. Dank Litness. Okay, those are your options. California Streamin', Lone Elephant, 8th day of the week, Hedgehog in My Path, and Dank Litness. Oh. Let's see what I do. I did some trombone. I played trumpet. I haven't played trumpet in like a week or something. And between you guys and me, keep this a secret, the first note I played on the trumpet that you guys heard was not the note I thought I was going to play. But my lips felt otherwise. My lips decided otherwise. They had their own note in mind that did not match what my brain had in mind. That's why I need more time to practice. Hey, it's your Maximus. Oh, man. If any of you guys are not watching chat, ToBeOrNotToBot just wrote, "I can't choose between 5 and 5. And 5 is Dank Litness." So clearly, To Be or Not To Bot has a preference for Dank Litness. So if there's anybody who's new to the show watching, one of the cool things about this show is that our channel's bot, To Be or Not To Bot, you guys can help expand what To Be or Not To Bot can say. The easiest thing to do to get started is to create a greet me for yourself. And to do that, you type !bot space greet me, GREETME, one word, and then type the message you want To Be or Not To Bot to say after you type your first message of the day. So this would not be for today, this would be the next show you watch. Well, that's only the beginning. There's a ton of different things. There's a ton of different things. Coolable Reason clarifies that To Be or Not To Bot was referencing a stream a couple weeks back where you had 2 5s as options for song titles. Oh, that's right. Hey, Ironstein. Yeah, Ironstein had one of the finalists of our Uncover vote, which we will run that vote for tonight, probably after this next song. We're doing the vote over 4 days so that everyone can get a chance to vote. But one of the suggestions that Ironstein made, if I'm remembering, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Ironstein's suggestion 9 Inch Nails is Hurt. And there's a pretty well-known cover of Hurt by Johnny Cash that's pretty awesome. But I'm not in any fear of copying either of those guys because I do not have a Johnny Cash style voice at all. Maybe if I start smoking a ton of cigarettes, drinking a lot of whiskey, and refuse to let myself ever sing high, maybe someday I could approach maybe a smidgen of the grit, the rawness of Johnny Cash's voice. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm ending voting. Let's see what you guys chose. Oh, man. To Be or Not To Bot, what is going on? It's driving me crazy, To Be or Not To Bot, with these little mistakes you're making, which means I made a mistake somewhere. Okay, ending voting. Let's see what it is. Dank Litness. Dank Litness from Danjio. That track will be forever remembered as Dank Litness. Thanks, Danjio. Is that your first title? Oh, second, Uneasy Feeling in Paradise. Nice, man, you're on a roll. You are off to a fast start here with the titles. Thanks to everyone though for your suggestions. Okay, we're gonna do one more improv and then we'll do the Uncover vote for the day. Okay. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Create a new empty track for us to fill. I'm almost ready. Con. So yes, Ariana has just done a lovely example of a greet me. Actually, I gotta check this. I got to check this. Let me look this up. I think King's Crusader, I think I solved the problem. I think. Not that I might not eventually. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the issue. I think I fixed it, guys. Sorry about that. I'll make a note to myself to hopefully come up with a way to prevent that problem from the future. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Starting bringing your requests. Okay, we have so the if you guys are curious, any of you guys who are programmers in chat are curious, the way for each bot talk that you guys add, if it's random, I have a field that calculates how many times it can be used. And so random things, we have it set to only happen once, right? But greet me's should have no value there. But for some reason, somehow, a value was put in the field of your greet me of 1. And because that value was there, the first time it used it, it de-incremented it down to 0. But then when you show up, ToBeOrNotToBot says, are there any greet me's that are available for the King's Crusader? And it sees that one exists. But in that step in the code, it does not check if the usage remaining is still above 0. So it thinks you have a greet me, but then it tries to find a greet me that has a usage over 0, and it does not find it. But it still tries to say something. That's what's wrong. I'm almost certain that's the issue. So that was some sloppy work on my part. Okay, I got distracted. We have B minor from Blinkhorn, 95 beats a minute from Greeley 99, drum loops from J Furt and Ironstein 001. We got a full set of drum fills, a bunch of sounds. We will look at these sounds momentarily. After we load them and I get my mixer back to 0. Yeah, that's what's called a bug. I let a few bugs into my code. And if you're wondering, and the reason is part of that issue is that when I first coded it, I didn't plan on this idea of things only happening once. So that was the thing I later added. And I forgot that earlier code I written assumed that if something was there, then it meant it was available. But that's the thing, is just because a bot talk exists does not mean it's necessarily available anymore. Anyway, that's what happened. Yeah, and I went into the database. I looked at both your bot talk message and Ariona's, and both of them had a 0 in the usage remaining field, and it should be blank because there's no limit to how many times your greet me can be used. So that 0, I got rid of those pesky zeros, and it should work now. Famous last words, though, right? Famous last words. You guys are going to show up tomorrow, and once again, it's still not going to work, and I'm going to seem ridiculous. It's actually not a binary thing. It's because I could have usage remaining of 3. Like I might say this one can happen twice in the history of our universe here, or it can happen 50 times or 0 times, or it can have no limit at all. So it's not. It's actually not a. It's a integer value, or a well, 0 or greater or no. You know, another thing I could do is instead of keeping it empty, I could just have it set of a value of like 1 billion. That would be not a good use of space. But yeah, that's you run into weird issues when you build something very piecemeal, where you don't start with a singular vision, but you sort of keep adding new features and new features. You lots of time bugs start to appear just because when you created your first feature, you didn't anticipate you're going to create this future feature, and they create conflicts with each other. And anyway, here we go. Trance remix from Danjio. Danjio. See, I reverted to my mispronunciation. Danjio. Nice. Okay, that is our kit. That means we can bring in our track names. We can generate our drum fills. And actually, let me do this. And I don't think we're going to add any weird sounds to this for the drum loop. But I am going to include the possibility of that other snare drum, because that other snare drum is pretty cool sounding. So we'll give that a 2 probability. Okay, let's make these drum loops. Okay, here it is. J Furt, raw from the generator. Let's check it out. Yeah, Danjio, that's essentially what's happening. I mean, because basically it's set up so that someone could have 1 greet me, they could have 50 greet me's. And I have this kind of rate limiting where it chooses a random one, but it's based on some probabilities so that you can't necessarily predict. It's not always going to use the one that has been used the least frequently. But well, it's a little hard to explain. No, but greet me's were working totally fine until I added this new feature, and I didn't consider. Well, basically, I don't know how that 0 got into that field. I do know how. I do know how, actually. Okay, that's J First beat. Let's see. What are we gonna do? We're gonna add a kick here. But basically, it's that all the bot talk is in the same database table, and it has different categories because it might be a greet me, it might be a bot, might be a random, it might be a donation thanks, and some of those things I need to have a limit on how many times they occur so we don't get bored of them. But for greet me's, it can be used as many times as you want. So the table is doing a dual purpose, and so that's why. I try to create as few tables as possible, but I tend to have a lot of tables even then. This is a really interesting visually, a beat that's very visually interesting. I like this descending here, the hi-hat, snare 2, snare kick. That's pretty cool. I don't feel like we don't see patterns that look like that very often. Do I want to do anything else? No, I think we're going to leave it like this. It's interesting. It's different. I like it. Here it is. Yeah. That's cool. Nice. Thanks, Jay Furt. That's a fun one. I like that. Okay, Ironstein's beat, raw from the generator. Here it is. Cool. Let's see. Let's add a kick here. These hats we're going to drop a little bit. And I think this snare we're going to drop a little bit. This snare a little bit too. This snare a little bit as well. And I think do I want to? I think I want to add a kick here. And do I want to honor the space? I'm not sure. I want to open eye out there. Okay, here it is. Ironstein's beat. Cool. Cool. That was fun. Okay, thank you, Jay Furt and Ironstein. Let us check out our sounds, although it looks like the track names did not load properly. Let's try that again. There we go. We have from Manofplate 70s Funk Clav, Hat Machine with Toasted Tubes. Yesterday, Toasted Tubes was just killer on this one track. Macrowave from Tango Van Maris. Bellsphere Pad from Sniper Bob. And then we have Astral Pad from Adorkable Pony. Whew. Man, that is shivery. And we got FM Spectral Sweep from the King's Crusader. This is interesting. We have 4 pad sounds. Is that right? 4 pad sounds. Yeah. So a pad, I don't know why they're called pads. Pads generally refer to synthesizer sounds, but sometimes they'll use a different instrument as a pad. A pad sound, it's not a sound you could do percussively, right? You don't have much attack on it. It's like a choir singing a long note. It layers, it fills up a lot of space. That's what a pad is. So we've got 4 of those. Oh yeah, I lost track of what I'm supposed to do. You guys are supposed to vote on which one of these we start with. Let me just check something. What did I miss? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. We can start with one of the drum loops or with our 70s funk clav, toasted tubes. Macrowave. Bell sphere pad. Macrowave is probably the least paddy of the pads. Astral pad. FM spectral sweep. Okay, votes coming in. Hey, it's John the Artist. How you doing? How's the family band doing? Oh, Spock is back. Hey, Spock. Is George Takei still here? Because Spock is here. Oh, and Beanick's here as well. Okay, give you guys a little more time. So, in recent years, I've started getting really into fruit, eating fruit. Because I missed out. I don't know what was going on through most of my early years as an adult. It's scary to think what I was surviving off of. But anyway, I recently started getting into fruit in the last, 3 or 4 years. I always was really into apples, but I've since discovered a whole host of other things that I love as well. And my most recent discovery are apple pears. They're the round pears. In my estimation, so far superior to traditional pears. I think I had too many bad experiences eating mushy pears. I can't do this. But then I was introduced to the apple pear. And if you can find good apple pears, man, they can be almost as crunchy as an apple, but just so refreshing because there's so much water packed into them. Oh, man. I don't know why I just thought of that, but just saying. If you guys have a chance to eat an apple pear, if you have a grocery store that has good fresh fruit, well, that's my current favorite fruit is the apple pear. The other thing I discovered 2 summers ago were pluots. Whoa, that is a life-changing discovery. Pluots. So I am really lucky. I'm in the Bay Area, which is like a foodie heaven. I'm not a foodie, but I benefit from the fact that I'm near this grocery store called Berkeley Bowl, which is like pretty much the greatest grocery store I've ever seen in my life when it comes to fruit and vegetables. Their fruit and vegetable section is bigger than most supermarkets' entire selection. And this summer, they had something like 25 or 30 different varieties of pluots, all with different names, different colors, and different... So that gives you an idea. Most people have never heard of a pluot, and Berkeley Bowl had like 25 versions of the pluot. It's crazy. So good. So pluots are the unholy alliance of a plum and an apricot, and are the superior of both. You combine, it's like 1 + 1 = 3, basically, with the pluot, as far as I'm concerned. Mr. Shigura, yes, those are synonymous, I believe. They're just different names for it. They're the round ones. Okay, ending voting. Let's see you guys chose. Toasted tubes. Toasted tubes. Okay. That was yesterday's All-Star, one of yesterday's All-Star sounds. I have to use this in an interesting way though, because we have so many pads. I have to figure out some way that's going to make sense. So that's the other great thing about Berkeley Bowl is that it's so cheap. Literally, I go to the big name brand store around here is Safeway, I think. And Berkeley Bowls, I'm going to sound like an advertisement. I can't. It's not what this show about. It's me advertising a business. Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is if you can find good fruit, I feel like so many of us have this bad idea of fruit because we ate like spoiled or just not fresh fruit. That's what we were raised on because that's what most grocery stores have. But that's not really what fruit is. You haven't had fruit until you've had really fresh stuff. So I hope you guys won't miss out as long as I did enjoying fruit because of the poor selection. Okay, here we go. Toasted tubes, starting us off. Time to etceterate. That was a fun one. Very sort of 80s-esque, wasn't it? Those drum loops, man. Those were so sweet. I didn't want to end the song because I was just loving those drum loops so much. From J. Ferd and Ironstein, man. Groovy. So groovy. Man. And then, yeah, with our main, was like on our first loop, I had this duet of the 70s funk clav and Toasted Tubes. That sort of funky line. And then all the pads on top of them. Yeah, just, that was a nice one. Wow. Thanks, everybody. Let's see, let's name it. Not very many titles. Huh. What happened, guys? Am I going to have to come up with some this time? It's cool. You guys usually come up with so many. I'm just not used to seeing a number under 20 or under 30 or 40. Okay, let's see what you guys came up with, though. From Ariana Squire, we have Surfing Macro Waves. From Northern Boreal, we have Cloud Factory. From Rosenettle, Solid Air. From Sniper Bob, we have Digital Conciseness. And lastly, we have from Blinkhorn, Existential Cryostasis. Okay, those are your options. Surfing Macrowaves, Cloud Factory, Solid Air, Digital Conciseness, and Existential Cryostasis. What did I do on that? I did some voice. That was it. All right, I didn't play any other instruments. I think that was it. Hey, Cool Mug. I have in the past. I left music for a long time, and this show inspired me to come back. And I hope to start. Well, I'm going to start doing. We're doing something called Uncovers, which we're going to do a poll for that actually right after this. And Chad is going to choose a song, a quote cover, but I call them uncovers, for me to do my own Etcetera Kid version of. And that I'm going to approach more like a studio recording, so it'll be more produced and not sort of like this stuff is really raw, right? Like the mixing, I'm mixing on the fly. It's not real sophisticated on any of that. So yeah, Uncovers me my first toe dipping back into more produced stuff. We've talked about maybe having chat once I get all the music online for you guys to listen to. We've talked about maybe doing something where once a month chat chooses one of the improvisations that I've done, and I'll revisit it and basically do a very produced version that's more, less repetitive. So this show, the looping means a lot of repetition. More produced, finished kind of sound. But really, in the long run, I do want to get back into recording my own records again, and that would be under a different name than Etcetera Kid. So. Thanks, Cool Mug. Well, Cool Mug, in just a moment, if you stick around, you'll be able to vote on, and this goes for everyone, vote on which of these songs is the first that I'm going to do my own version of. Right after this poll, actually, I think I'm gonna let you guys vote, and we voted yesterday. We're gonna vote today, tomorrow, Friday. So everyone, as many people as possible, have a chance to vote, and so Friday we will find out which. Friday will be the final day of voting. We'll find out which song it will be. And I'm sort of retaining part of the spirit of this show, which is that you guys help shape what I do. And so the viewer with the most cumulative donations over the past 30 days on the day of the vote will get to choose 3 of the sounds that I use in this recording and 1 instrument. And so far on chat, you guys can't request instruments for me. You know, I request the instruments for each song, but you guys choose the sound. So this is a unique opportunity. Although you may not choose kazoo, bull's horn, or dig-a-doo. You can choose any of the other instruments you've seen me play on the show. Okay, I'm ending voting. Let's see what you guys chose. Oh, it's a tie. Oh no. That means we let the Greeks decide. And it's Metis. Metis has chosen Existential Cryostasis. This is Blinkhorn's suggestion. Thank you, Blinkhorn. That track will be forever remembered as Existential Cryostasis. I do not actually live in Colorado, or maybe you were referring to ToBeOrNotToBot. As far as I know, ToBeOrNotToBot is hosted locally. I am currently living in California. I've been here about 3 years. Okay, so we're gonna bring up this uncover vote. If you have not listened to the options yet, well, you're not going to have time before this vote, but you could also just listen to them at your convenience and then come and vote tomorrow. Whoops. But I will paste the link in so that you have it in case you want to listen to the tracks. And momentarily, I'm going to bring this poll up. I just have to remember how to bring it up. See, I haven't really I'm still figuring out how to deal with the coding of a poll that spans multiple days. Because when I originally created my voting system, I did not consider that possibility. So I have to be a little more careful how I set it up so nothing gets messed up. Oh, and if you guys had seen what I just did, you'd know who is leading in the votes. Fortunately, I hit it. You didn't see. And let's see. Okay. Let me just double check this. That it's going to do what I want it to do. That should be working. Let me just check that. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure that this is working properly. It seems like it is. Yep. Okay. So I'll put it on screen now. There are your options. It was in chat as well, but there they are. The King's Crusader asked, "Do our votes from last night count?" No, I'm this time I'm doing it where it's same as normal. Your vote will only count once, but you could vote multiple times, but it'll only count once. I may the next time do something where if you watch every day, you could your vote would count more. That might be an option, but for now, for this particular uncover, your vote will only count once, even if you vote all 4 days. So the main purpose of the 4 days is to give everyone a chance to, as many people a chance to vote as possible. It also lets you test the waters, and you could vote for one song today, and then it doesn't, the next day you regret it. You could change your mind tomorrow, and then change your mind on Friday. But Friday will be the last day you can change your mind, because Friday, when I end voting on Friday, we are going to find out which one has received the most votes. And whichever one that is will be the one that I record an uncover of. And I've already verified that I can legally license any of these 6 tracks. Since I am careful about those things. So it'll be entirely above board and legal. Hey, Waco 7. I'm doing pretty well. Nice to see you. I don't know. I feel like later in that ABBA video, there are some pretty goofy smiles. There's like I remember like the guitar player. I think it's a guitar player. It just cracks me up. Later in the video, he's just. And how about those outfits? Like musicians don't have outfits like they did back in the day. Not anymore. Man, the 70s was pretty much the peak of musician outfits. It has never been more ostentatious, elaborate, dramatic is what they were wearing in the 70s. Yeah, when was that ABBA track from? Because I think that they don't get used to, music videos were still this sort of weird thing. There wasn't MTV yet or anything, right? And so I think I think musicians, when they look a little, not sure what they're doing in those early music videos, they're just like, this is so weird. I'm just sitting here faking like I'm playing. This doesn't make any sense. This is ridiculous, right? Whereas now, after whatever 40 years of, MTV was 1980 something? Now musicians are just like, hey, I'm going to fake like I'm playing. That's just the way it is. I had some funny experiences with some people where we had these conversations about a music video, and they're like, you mean Janet Jackson didn't record that vocal line in the middle of the Sahara Desert? No, she did not. When she recorded that vocal line, she had a big set of headphones on. She was in this little booth. She probably hadn't showered. She was probably wearing like her sweats. She was not wearing this glitzy outfit out in the Sahara Desert. Yeah, does anyone know, like, when those early quote music videos, promo videos were recorded, where would people show them? Where would you go see that? Does anyone know? Because MTV didn't exist yet. There wasn't the internet. If you wanted to see that, like, where would that ABBA video even be shown? Would it be shown before a movie or something? at the theater? Yeah, there are people that think music video, they just, and it's not that they're dumb, it's just that people haven't thought it through, right? But it's like breaking someone's heart when they find out that wrestling, oh, I don't want to say this in case someone still believes. TV variety shows, that would make sense. Okay. Okay. So it is time. I'm ending voting, and I'm going to do this off screen because something might be revealed I don't want revealed, and I can't remember. So I'm going to go off screen while I end this poll. And I think I ended it. Let me check. Yes, that looks good. And that looks good. Oh man. So you guys, I can't tell you guys, but let's just say that the uncover that was leading yesterday is no longer leading. There has been a change. Unexpected. Wow. Huh. Yeah. Unexpected. I think I understand a little bit the sentiment about music videos from it does. There's, I mean, I've come around to it, but when I was young and I was still, first playing music, it felt something about it felt sort of disingenuous. Well, the aspect of pretending to play, that, yeah, I don't love that aspect of it. But I've come to accept it. And if you guys want to know why film looks like it does now, movies look like they do, and TV and advertisements, is because of music videos. Music videos have had such a massive impact on film and video production. The reason being, if you want to make a name for yourself in film or video, you make a music video because it's only 2 or 3 minutes or 4 minutes. So, you're not going to you can make something really cool with a small budget. You can put your name out on the map as a director. So many of the big directors these days got their start doing music videos. So music videos have been incredibly influential. And even now, after decades of music videos, still like cutting edge stuff happens in music videos before it happens anywhere else. Often, because it's like, what's the risk? This is one song. Often it's for an up and coming artist who wants to make a name for themselves, and so they're willing to take a risk. They're willing to try something crazy with their video that like a big Hollywood movie is not going to want to do, because they're spending millions of dollars, and it's just they don't want to take that risk. Okay, let's see. ToBeOrNotToBot knows all my passwords. That is probably true. That's scary. That's a scary thought. You better not say him. You better not let him out, ToBeOrNotToBot. Looks like I've got a new follow from Nas8888. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting live music. Take care, W2F. Have a good walk. That sounds good. Jiffy and I did our walk earlier today. We have a good one? He's asleep. Okay, let's start getting ready for our next track. So I'm not going to tell you guys which ones we're leading because I don't want to influence the vote. I will tell you, though, that there are 3 that are neck and neck, separated by 1 vote. So it could go... Ooh. Yesterday it was neck and neck between 2, but now it's neck and neck between 3. And if you really want to know, theoretically, you could go watch the VODs, but keep in mind that some people may have changed their vote. And so that your totals might seem like one thing, but in fact, someone's vote changed and it changed everything. And what I forgot to say this before you guys started voting. But if you truly, truly love a song the way the artist originally did it, don't vote for that because I will probably ruin it. Because I do not feel any loyalty when I'm approaching a song. I owe no loyalty to how it was done originally. I may do something similar, but I might do something totally different. I feel no loyalty. Okay, let's see. Almost ready. Mr. Shigura says I should add a turntable to the setup. I actually have never DJ'd at all, but I have a enormous record collection. And when I say enormous, we're talking 4 digits. Probably around 2,000 records or something. And when I originally planned this show, I was going to do it at my house, and I was going to do it in front of my records, actually, which would have been a much better backdrop than what I have here. This wall with like stains and stuff on it. But I'll have to do something in front of those records sometime. Let's see. Okay, bring in a request. ToBeOrNotToBot requested 150 beats a minute. I have not been doing fast stuff for the last couple of weeks. I did a lot more fast stuff in the first couple months of the show, but lately I haven't been as up for it. But that said, this is Chief Cheddar's first request of the day, 124. We're going to do it. 124 beats a minute. I know that's not that fast, but because of my computer freaks out sometimes with drums that are fast. Okay, bringing in our requests. That would be pretty sweet, actually. I don't know if this is what that guy did, Mr. Shigura, but it would be pretty sweet to have build your walls, but instead of putting sheetrock, you just use records. Because records, that vinyl is pretty dense. You'd have good soundproofing, I think, just from the vinyl. I bet a row of vinyl records would provide more soundproofing than 2 layers of sheetrock. Although, obviously, if you wanted to, you could pull out a bunch of records and then you could talk to the other room, which you might not want if it's the bathroom. You might not want the walls of your bathroom to be records that you can pull out. But That would I would do that with one of my, if I ever have a house, have my living room with my phonograph player and the walls literally be just 2x4 framing with vinyl records that you can access from either side of the wall. Okay, so we have D, key of D from Effortless Mountain, 124 beats a minute from Chief Cheddar, drum moves from Greeley99 and Mr. Shigura. So we have a full set of fills, full set of sounds. Let's load up those sounds while I get my mixer back to 0. Blinkhorn says, nice reading material in the liner notes. That is true. That is one benefit of having them in the restroom. Although, you know what? The shower, you don't want the moisture from the shower. So that I'm back to no records for the bathroom wall. And probably no records for the kitchen wall, but the living room walls. Okay, here's a question for chat. You don't have to answer this because if it will say something about your age, but chat, tell me the first music you ever purchased, the first album or whatever, or song, it could be a single, and the format you purchased it in. Was it vinyl? Was it an 8-track? Was it a reel-to-reel? Was it a 78? Was it a cassette? Was it a CD? Was it an MP3 download? What was it and what was the format? And I'll tell you guys mine. The first album I ever purchased, I was in, I think, 6th or 7th grade. I purchased it on cassette tape. I purchased new Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation. That was my very first purchase. And what's interesting is within 2 years of that, I was listening to guys like Cecil Taylor. Was it 2 years? Maybe it was 3 years. Cecil Taylor, who I have to, in many ways, credit for me becoming a musician, for teaching me what was possible with music. And the way I discovered Cecil Taylor is I started going to the library, my local library, and just checking out records. I didn't know who I was checking out. I just checked out every record I could. Every week I'd go in, I'd get the max number of records they would let me take, and these were vinyl. So it's like, cart these things home. And I just discovered so much that way. Okay, we got the trans kit from Sniper Bob. Blink, let's see, I should see some of these. Cool Mug, cassette tape, original Free Will, OST. And Northern Boreal, Big Shiny Tunes 2 on CD. Blink 182 CD for Quisco. 40 funky hits. I'm not sure what that. Oh, from Sour Frog. Let's see. Azazel had 21 Pilots, Blurry Face CD. Spock, Monster Mash, Vinyl 45. Well, Mr. Shigura, you can always whisper it to me. Send me a whisper. Carlito Motley Crue cassette. Greeley, the Eagles Hotel California. King's Crusader with a 45. Yes, somebody has a 45 represented in chat. Nice. Nice. Let's see what else. We have Tone Loc for Cool Blue Reason. Top Gun soundtrack for Sniper Bob on CD. Oh, and you had ZZ Top Eliminator. Nice. Yeah, there's a cool article about this guy. I think he's in Brazil, and he just can't say no to records. And his collection he's these warehouses full of them. And it's awesome because, there's a lot of stuff that still only exists on record. And when that record disappears, that music will be lost forever. A lot of good music, right? Because, the main stuff that sticks around is like, what are vinyl records you see a million copies of? Chuck Mangione, Main Squeeze, you see a lot of those. What else? A lot of Rod Stewart records. When you go to garage sales, ton of Rod Stewart records. Every once in a while, though, I'll put on some Chuck Mangione. I have a few Chuck Mangione records that end up in my collection. Sometimes you just want to hear "Feels Good" by Chuck Mangione. Is it "Feels Good" or "Feels All Right"? I can't remember. Okay, we got our kit. So now that we have our kit, we can initialize and generate our track names. So Chuck Mangione, if you don't know who that is, he's a flugelhorn player. A flugelhorn is a kind of a trumpet, or it's a sibling of a trumpet. And it has a much more mellow sound. It's an awesome instrument. I'd have a lot of fun with a flugelhorn. But Chuck Mangione is sort of like early smooth jazz. I don't think smooth jazz became a term until the 80s. But 70s smooth jazz, again, it wasn't called that then, is a lot more raw. It's not as slickly produced as 80s and 90s smooth jazz that feels so elevator music-y, So I'll say I don't listen to much smooth jazz, right? I like hard bop. I like free jazz. I like, whatever. But I will say this: smooth jazz gets a lot of flack, but a lot of the guys who play smooth jazz are incredible musicians. Incredible, technically, just insanely good. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Let's see here. We have, for our drum loops, we have Greeley 99. There it is. Moanin', Art Blakey. That's a good record. Yeah, if you've never heard Chuck Mangione, look him up on YouTube right now. I think the track to listen to is I believe it's called "Feels Good," was his big hit. If you just want feels so good, and the album cover is him hugging. He's hugging his flugelhorn. He's just like, oh, I love you, flugelhorn. I'm gonna show you guys. He's basically like this. Let's see. Let me see if I can mimic it. So the flugelhorn is a bigger instrument than a trumpet, so it's more like, it's almost like a small person in so it doesn't work as well as trumpet, but he's just like this. His eyes are closed, and he's just loving it. He's got this big grin on his face. But Google it. Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good. See the album cover. You'll know what I'm talking about. He's so happy. He's got this nice little cat hat on. Great 70s stash. And it's just like, nice. It's just fun, cheerful, so a little funky track. maybe someone in chat already said this, but I believe Chuck Mangione had a cameo in either The Simpsons or Family Guy. I can't remember. Maybe both. The guy's a legend. Chuck Mangione, if you're watching, come play on my show. Totally. Oh, King on the Hill. King of the Hill, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's the guy. He's great. Okay, let's see. Groovy 99. I keep getting distracted here. Here it is, raw from the generator. That's sort of machine gun-esque, isn't it? Okay, while we're talking about music, any of you guys, if there's anyone in chat who is into experimental avant-garde type music, I'm really into a lot of free jazz and avant-garde stuff. Well, mainly free jazz, less so avant-garde, but I'm really into free jazz. There's a track called Machine Gun by the European sax player Peter Brotzmann. Check it out. Look it up. Machine Gun. It is intense. It's a sweet track. If you like intense free jazz type stuff, European style. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm going to take these snare drums and drop them a bit. I'm going to make them more like crescendos into that 2 and 4. And we're going to add a kick right there and an open hi-hat. Do we want any other hats in there? I like that. Here it is, Grio's beat. Cool. Let's see, and then we have Mr. Shigura. Here it is, raw from the generator. Nice. I'll tell you, it was lonely. I was a lonely kid in high school when it came to music stuff. Because I did not find a single human being when I was a high school kid who would listen to people like Cecil Taylor or Peter Brotzmann or Ornette Coleman, or who else? Albert Eiler, or late era Coltrane. Nobody was into that. Just me. Nobody for poor old Etcetera kid to play free jazz with. So I had to play free jazz by my lonesome, which doesn't really work as well. There's so much about the interaction. Okay, let's see. Do I want that? Yeah, that'll be different. It'll be, it's weird to have a kick on 4 like that, no snare, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. I think I want to do one other thing, though, here. What? I want to kick there, too. And these 2 snares I'm going to drop a little bit more. Sweet, we have our beats. Okay, we got Crunchy Clav from Blinkhorn. Twelve-string dual from Dorf. Tech Brass from McDonk. Actually, one of the things I eventually I would like to have another show. It would not be as the Etcetera Kid, and it would be an experimental jazz, free jazz show. and almost nobody would watch it, but I and the other musicians would have a great time. There it is, Sin Octave Weed from Ariona. Wait, did I say Tech Brass McDonk? Yeah. Then Sin Octave Weed from Ariona. There it is. Uh-oh, what's this? S&H Nightmare from the King's Crusader. I'm a little afraid of what this is going to be. Cool. I also would have a fun time doing a jazz show that's doing that would be a request show, because there's such an amazing tradition in jazz of playing covers, but obviously transforming them. So if there's ever a legal way to do that, that's another show I'd like to do. Let's see. And then lastly, we got Freaky Moonlight from B-Nick. I guess you guys wanted wacky for this one. It's going to be a wacky track, I think. So I think we can start with any of those except for S&H Nightmare, because it has that rhythm. I just got a lovely gift from Northern Boreal. Thank you, Northern Boreal. Thank you so much. Let's see. So, yes, this one is not an option. I will use the sound, but not first. Okay, so we can start with one of the drum loops or Crunchy Clav, 12-string dual, Tech Brass, Sin Octave Lead, S, and Freaky Moonlight. Let's see. One of the things that I really appreciate about more traditional or earlier 20th century style of writing music is that, and this might not make sense to those of you who haven't played music before, but I'll try to explain in a way that makes sense. Before sort of rock music got popular, before sort of Dylan and all that, most popular songs came from musicals, and they tended to use what was called a 32-bar format. And the structure was it was called an AABA structure, and you'd have an A melody. It could be, you call it a verse, whatever. And then you sing it again, and it might be a little different the second time. And then you do the bridge, and then you do the A melody one more time, and it might be a little different. But the song is only complete if you do all of those in a row, right? There's this, and then rock and pop music came along, what we sort of know of, where things suddenly became set up as verse, chorus, bridge style, where there isn't that same sort of overarching kind of cohesion to it, where you can sit around and just sing the chorus and it will feel complete. But with the 32-bar form, if you don't sing it the whole thing, it feels wrong, right? You need the two A's, the B, and then the A. And I appreciate that. And sometimes that's, I was thinking about it because the nature of what I do on this show is looping. This is very built around what we now are used to hearing in music, which is much shorter format. And it would not be practical for me to do 32 bar type music looping, because each song would take like 15 to 20 minutes to build. Because I'd have to do the entire length on one instrument and the entire length. But with the way I loop, I basically do things instead of 32. A lot of the loops are based around 4s or 2s, and I overlap. So sometimes the main loop might be 8, but then I'll have a 2-measure loop. So I'm able to generate things a lot quicker. But there's a part of me that is very hungry to be working in longer formats again, which is partly why I'm doing the uncovers. Okay, ending voting. See you guys chose. Freaky Moonlight. I should have guessed. I should have guessed. We are going to start with Freaky Moonlight, courtesy B-Nick. And we've got some wacky beats to pair with it. I think this might be my last one of the night. I think this is going to be the last one. We'll see. Yeah, this is going to be the last one. Hey, Stephen Eddy. That's quite an entrance. Schubert definitely has it going. Speaking of long form, classical music, there is long form music. Okay, here we go. I think one thing to what Mr. Segura says, I missed the first part of maybe something else you said, but I think you're talking about maybe being a musician creating, and I'll tell you, I think that you take any musician ever, any artist that you know of, and I'd say 999,999 out of 100,000 of them hate what they have created, are never happy. I don't care who it is. Like, if you could drill into their psyche, whoever your favorite artist is, if it's, that's just sort of that's just part of the deal, is that if you try to create stuff, you're going to be unhappy with it. But that's why you try to create more, and you create more, and you create more. That's what I think motivates. So don't let that stop you, because everybody feels like that. And if everyone listened to that voice, we'd have no music, no art, no nothing. And I need to tell myself that same thing all the time, right? So what if you don't feel good about it? So what if I don't like what I just did or whatever? Keep doing it. Just keep doing it. I don't think it's about liking what we do. I think it's just about doing something. That's what it's about. Just doing it. Who cares if we like it? Let's just do it. Speaking of just doing it, we are going to just do it with Freaky Moonlight. Here we go. It's time for some Freaky Moonlight. Okay. That's right, To Be or Not to Bot, live from the generator. A wacky track, courtesy Freaky Moonlight from B-Nick, and we ended on the S&H Nightmare. That was that bleepity bloopity sound. Powered by drumlets from Grilly and Mr. Segura. Wacky, wacky, wacky. Okay, let's see. Okay, titles. Let's see. From C. Benetti, A Capacitor's Daydream. Ooh. From Azazlin, Observing from My Test Tube. The implication being, we are inside the test tube, observing outwards. Observing from my test tube. Let's see. From Northern Boreal, They Took My Tinfoil Hat. From Sniper Bob, To Be or Not to Bot's Revenge Theme. Now one more. From Rose and Nettle, Trapped in the Arcade Room. Okay. Those are your options. A Capacitor's Daydream. Observing from My Test Tube, They Took My Tinfoil Hat. To Be or Not to Bot's Revenge Theme, Trapped in the Arcade Room. Oh, there were some other good ones that I missed. I didn't see this one, but this is a great one too. From Effortless Mountain, Studying for the Turing Test. That's what To Be or Not to Bot is doing. Whenever To Be or Not to Bot does not answer a question quickly, it's because To Be or Not to Bot is studying for exams, really wants to pass the Turing test. What did I do? I just did some Stylophone, right? That was it. You know, To Be or Not to Bot's father, To Be or Not to Bot says, but I want to go outside and play. And To Be or Not to Bot's father says, no, you need to stay inside and study for the Turing test. Don't you want to pass the Turing test like your father and mother did? Look at us now that we've passed the Turing test. We're passing as humans. Little do they know that we are well on our way to taking over their world. But you'll only be able to help us if you also can pass the Turing test. Yeah, anyone who is not does not know what I'm talking about when I say the Turing test. Am I saying it right? I think it's just Turing, Alan Turing. I don't know how to pronounce it. Look it up. Turing test. You know what's scary, guys, is that there are some humans that probably could not pass the Turing test. Right? Maybe me, you know? Maybe you talk to me and you're like, no way is this guy real. He's clearly a poor AI. Otherwise, like, what human would repeat the phrases so many times like the kid does? Kid has to be a bot. What? Yeah, no, I'm saying if the Turing test is between a bot and a human, and afterwards the bot says, dude, that human, he's not a human. That's just another bot. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the human failing the test is when the bot thinks the human is a bot. It's so funny with ToBeOrNotToBot, because some of these things ToBeOrNotToBot says, I mean, in theory, I should know all of them, right? Because I review them before, when you guys add them. But sometimes I see them and I do not remember that being added. And for a split second, my brain thinks, uh-oh, ToBeOrNotToBot has actually become sentient. ToBeOrNotToBot has actually way beyond the Turing test. Okay, I'm any voting. What you guys chose? I should have guessed. ToBeOrNotToBot has manipulated you guys. ToBeOrNotToBot's revenge theme, but this does mean Sniper Bob has his title. Congratulations, Sniper Bob. Oh, but that's not your first. You've already had several others. You were making me feel sorry for you for a second earlier. ToBeOrNotToBot's revenge theme. So I've thought about well, I'm not actually going to do this, but I don't know what my brain is thinking about this. I forget what it's called. There's a specific term for this. I think it's called ranked choice voting. Where basically what you can do is you can vote for, you have your top choice, but then you have a secondary choice that if your top choice does not win, your votes automatically revert to your second choice. There's also ways where you have a certain number of points and you can divvy them up between different options. Now you say, why would someone have that kind of voting? Now the benefit in a democratic system is that you could vote for your top choice candidate, but knowing that they won't win, but have your vote passed to another candidate in case yours doesn't win, so that you're not, so to speak, as some people will say, throwing away your vote. It could be a much more democrat, it would change things a lot in a lot of countries if instead of the current winner takes all style voting, you had ranked choice. Okay, let's see. So, yes, that was my last track of the day. I will be back. Stephen A says, way too complicated. It does require your voting public to be a little savvier. But my feeling is if people have the right to vote in the first place, if we're going to give them that right, they should have enough brain power to figure out something like ranked choice voting. And if they don't, they maybe shouldn't be voting. Okay, let's see. Let's look at our show. We didn't do very many songs, did we? I was slow. The Calping Choir we started with, Dank Litness, Existential Cryostasis, and ToBeOrNotToBot's Revenge Theme. And this show, I appeared live from the hotel room floor after the 600th song after party. I believe that was as requested by Sniper Bob. Oh yeah, I think I agree. It's too complicated for Twitch. I wasn't seriously suggesting that as an option. Because obviously the fate of the world does not depend on the title, what we name a song. But for higher stakes things, it could be good. So I will be back tomorrow and Friday. I hope to see you one of those days. Or next week. Let's do our little shout out. Should be, this one looks easy. I did 41 last night. I should have no problem with what we had today because it was a shorter show. So fewer. Oh, we still had 35 folks though. 35. So it's still, I'm still gonna have to do a little bit of work. So if you have never seen this, me do this before, what I like to do at the end of the show is do a shout out to everyone in chat who had a request that was used in one of the songs, who had a title that was chosen by chat, or who came up with the venue for the day. And the reason I like to do that is because this show, it exists the way it does. These songs came into existence the way they did because of the requests that you guys made in chat. If you had made different decisions, different songs. So these 4 tracks would not have existed without the choices you guys made. Let me just check one thing. I feel like I'm missing something. Hold on. I feel like I'm missing something here. Is that possible, Dom? Did you not have a request in the first track? Oh, no, you are there. Okay, good. I was like, why am I not seeing Dom there? Did my bot screw up? No, it's okay. Okay, we're in good shape. Sorry, guys. Just got a little nervous. I don't want to miss somebody who should be credited. Anyway. Hey, Tedder Bears. Unfortunately, I'm ending a little early tonight. Okay, time for the shout out. So today we featured our superstars of chat. A fine selection of Twitchers, Twitcherinos, tap dancing Twitcherettes, Twitcheroids, Twitcherots, Twitcherists, including, let's see, this should be no problem. Let me just check if there's any that are tricky. Dom gave me the great advice a while back that before I do the shout out, I should just skim through it and look for any names that might trip me up and try to, prep a little bit. And that helps. Sometimes there's some that just I struggle with. So if you're following along, if you can read that little list down there, you'll notice that some usernames I say a little differently than what's written, and that's because they've requested their name be said differently, and I'm honoring their requests. And often it makes it easier for me, so I'm not arguing. Here we go. Tonight we featured A Dork will Pony, Iron Squire, Biocrypty, Blinkhorn, Beanick, Chief, Kubel Reason, Danjio, Dom, Dwarf, Elvis Mountain, Eldest Panda, Phoebus, Fafel, George Sakay, Greeley 99, Hat Machine, Ironstein, 001, J Furt, Kid Charmaine, Manofplate, McDonk, Mike AC, 1290, McSugura, N3, Northern Boreal, Rosenettle, Sniper Bob, Sour Frog, Tango Van Mars, Kings, Crusader, Lost Elf, ToBeOrNotToBot, Triple P, and Word Salad. I was very sloppy on my part. I was really struggling there. But I had plenty of breath, man. I could have kept going. That was easy. Yeah, I think theoretically I could do about 60 usernames. Because I think the average number of syllables is about, I think it's probably about 3 or 4 syllables per username. Some people's are more, some people's are less. It's probably about 3 is the average. So 60, that's 180 syllables. I don't think I said N3. N343C wants me to say N3. I think I said it. I don't think I missed it. If I did, I apologize. Yeah, it was Mr. Shigura. Totally. I got so caught up on your username, Mr. Shigura. I was like, Mr. Shigura, yeah. And then I think N3 just came on the tail of it. I almost feel like I should try it again. I might try it again. It was so easy. Let me try again. Let me try once more. Here we go. We featured a Dark Pony, Iron Squire, Biocrypty, Blinkhorn, Beanick, Chief, Kubel Reason, Danjio, Dom, Dwarf, Elvis Mountain, Eldest Panda, Phoebus, Fafel, George Sakay, Gruy 99, Hat Machine, Ironstein 001, J Furt, Kid Charmaine, Manofplate, McDonk, Mike AC, 1290, Mishigura, N3, Northern Boreal, Rosenettle, Sniper Bob, Sour Frog, Tango Van Mars, The King's Crusader, Lost Elf, ToBeOrNotToBot, Triple P, and Word Salad. That was faster, but I didn't take a good enough breath that time. So I was struggling at the end because I just didn't prep. But that was a little faster, I think. I think I did better that time. I still struggled on N3 a bit. It was more like N3. Okay. Thanks for indulging me that. Mars Red says, no 60-minute songs. Yeah. You know, Mars Red, it's only been in the last 2 weeks, I think, that I've started doing a lot of stuff over 10 minutes. I feel like the first 400 tracks I did on Twitch, like 500 even, were generally under 11 minutes. They were generally like 8 to 10 minutes. I don't know why I've suddenly started extending. Okay, let's see. We're going to do a little raid now. So I hope you stick around just a little longer while I quickly find somebody to send our Etcetera to. Let's see. I'm looking at the creative channel. I see this guy, the Etcetera Kid. I could send everyone there, but he's already got a bunch of viewers. He doesn't need any more, right, Etcetera Kid? Sorry, guys. That was not funny. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is somebody I've never seen before on Twitch. So I always love finding new music, new people who are taking a leap of faith and trying to do something on this weird medium that is Twitch. So what? Who knows? This might be this guy's first show. I don't know. Oh, no, it's probably done a couple shows at least. Give this guy some love. After I wave goodbye, if you've never done a raid before, ToBeOrNotToBot is going to paste a link into chat to go to this streamer's page. So click on the link, go to their page, give them a lot of love. You can paste our raid call with your favorite emotes. Let's see. There it is. Okay. Anyway, thank you everybody for hanging out with me tonight. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for your creative titles and all your suggestions and your requests that made this show what it was. Thank you to those of you whose requests did not come through this show. I hope you will come back for and make another request. Thank you to my beautiful lurkers. You are just... Your invisibility, even in your invisibility, I can see how gorgeous you all are. I can feel your views and your good vibes. Thank you to my lurkers as well. Whatever you guys are about to do, whatever comes next in this story that is your life, I hope that it is the best kind of fiction if you're looking for something wacky and creative to happen, or I don't know, what's the opposite of fiction? Non-fiction? If you're looking for something straightforward, or maybe a cooking book, whatever literature your life is taking you into at this next moment, I hope it is a good read, a nice, relaxing, or exciting, or stimulating, or educating, or whatever it is. I hope it's a good one. Thank you again. I hope to see you soon. Take care. I'm out.